Good evening, everyone. Welcome to week 4 of the Simulation Football League. We have a marquee matchup for y'all as the defending champs, Florida Storm, have arrived here in Robert Smalls Memorial Stadium, which the Charleston Predators call home. This will be matchup number 11 between these two teams in the history of their existence. Florida has won 7 of the last 10, including the last 2, but with Charleston's amazing start to this season, will they be able to upset the defending champions tonight? I am your play-by-play host, Mark Lopez, and my analyst with me tonight is Eddie Gage on stats. We got Ron Haynes, Jacob Clear, and Corey Menner, and as always, the game is being produced by our commissioner, Cameron Irving. Eddie, how do you see things shaking up in this game tonight?
First of all, let's get my introduction out the way. SFL Nation, what up, though? Yeah, you're right. I look forward to this contest. So far this season, Charleston has been bringing a heavy blitz all season long throughout their first 2 games, and it's paid dividends for them, and particularly last week versus Pittsburgh. And I look forward to seeing a lot more of it today. I talked to both coaches, and Charleston plans on bringing the heat. Florida made some adjustments, but not a lot of tweaking. We'll see how it shakes out today.
Well, Charleston definitely coming into this week with the number 1 scoring defense. Florida not too far behind with the number 3 scoring defense. We might see a defensive game tonight, but it's going to start off here with Florida. Ron Cochran's offense with the ball here, lining up and starting with a split back spread formation. 1st and 10 in their 20-yard line.
First play of the game, they got a corner lined up on the line of scrimmage.
That they do. Charleston rush for Ron Cochran will throw. He's going to find his man in a nice first play of the game. You mentioned about the keys to Charleston's win will be it might come through their defense. And
yes.
You mentioned about blitzing. So far, first play of the game has not yet come yet.
Not yet. They didn't bring the blitz on that particular play. They showed it, but they backed out of it. And Ron Cochran, being a veteran he is, he was not fooled, found his man for a big first down.
It was Caleb Giffis with the nice route down the middle with a nice catch, giving his team the first down at their 40-yard line. Line up with 2 wideouts, single back. Deep step back by Ron will throw, and it's another completion in back-to-back throws. That's to Stephen Bush. Let's introduce you to Florida's offense. Ron Cochran, captain, quarterback of the team, Beletsky, halfback, Chris Komisak, the fullback. Wide receivers, you saw right there, Stephen Bush and Caleb Giffis, who had the earlier catch. They also get Art Vandelay and Bobby Tarantino in the receiving locker room. Ron Haynes and Nate LeMay are the tight ends. Randy Fatt, the third, Joseph Wade and Greg McDonaldson are their offensive linemen. 1st and 10 now in Charleston side of the field. 3rd pass in a row for Ron Cochran. Oh, tipped by Charleston's defense. That was a close one. Could have been tipped there, Eddie.
Ben Bowman had it hit him in both hands, and he dropped it. Had he held on to that, there was nothing in front of him but green grass.
Bowman there with the first pass deflection of the game. First incompletion for Ron Cochran. He lines up with offset eye twins formation. Gonna throw again here. Ooh, nice block, nice pass protection. Pressure still coming. The throw is made, but that is into coverage. Stephen Bush couldn't beat his man cover there. That's gonna fall harmlessly to the ground, 3rd and long.
And these corners are going to find themselves on an island several times throughout this game. As Charleston brings the blitz, it puts pressure on those guys on the back end to hold up their end of the bargain. And so far, Charleston doing a great job.
Beletsky destroyed the blitzer, though. So good on him on that one. Here's Cochran lining up with 4 wideouts. Single back, blitz come in. Throw is done and good. Cochran is on fire as he has thrown his way to 1st and 10 all the way inside the red zone of Charleston.
Caleb Giff is playing on the outside like a veteran receiver. I'm not only used to seeing him playing in the slot, but today we're seeing him playing on the outside, and he's doing a great job going up against these better corners of Charleston.
Yeah, and it was a seam route running only a straight line, really showing his pure speed there. Makes the catch in the play, and well, they're just outside the red zone here. Ron Cochran will swing this out. Flat route, they're going to say it's no yardage gain. To number 80, Art Vandelay. We've seen him come out of the backfield a few times this season already.
And perhaps that's why we're seeing Caleb Giffis lined up on the outside, because Art has been spending a lot of time this season, as you just mentioned, lined up in the backfield.
Another offset eye twins here. It'll be a handoff. No, it's a fake handoff. Cochran will throw once again down the middle. It's good. They are just on fire, attacking the middle of the field, seam routes down the middle, and Ron Cochran finds himself a first and goal situation.
Caleb Giffis doing his best Gabriel Manning impersonation here on his first drive, dominating the touches for Florida.
So far, a heavy dose of seams and posts for this Florida offense, and it's seeming to work. I mean, they're now 1st and 10 at the 9-yard line, lining up in with 2 wideouts, 2 tight ends, single back. They're in a motion. I believe that's Bobby Tarantino as a wideout here. Deep step back, looking to pass to the end zone.
Wow.
It's good. It's good to Stephen Bush for the first 6 of the game.
Ron Cochran and this Florida offense giving us a heavy dose of the passing game. In seasons past, they were a heavy run team. I remember watching season 20 games and they were handing the ball off several times early and often, but today they've come out firing, slinging the rock downfield.
Yeah, and talk about efficiency and incredible stuff from Ron Cochran, only missing 3 passes in that drive, and pretty much threw his way to the end zone every single play, a throw. Even that horizontal pass to Art Vandelay. And it's a touchdown for this offense who start out strong.
Yes, and that was one of my keys to this game, Charleston's defense in the red zone. Florida came into this game with only 1 TD in the red zone through 2 games this season, picking up their second on that drive.
Now we are going to get a chance to look at Charleston's offense. They're going to return it, fielded at the 10, brought down at the 25. That's where they're going to start. That was twice on the return. Their offense, led by their quarterbacks, John Lakeman and Eamon Kopech. Their halfbacks are Ian Francis and Nick Hoagland. Fullback are Terrell Sutherland and Brad Taylor Wright. Wide receivers are Doug Spelling, Nick Twice, Zora Lunar, and Doug Britton. Their tight ends are Leon Sandcastle, Xavier Solomon, and Breddington James. First down at the 25-yard line. There's Lakeman who looked to throw down the middle, and that is almost good. That was caught in the hands but dropped after a hit by the Florida strong safety, Andrew Francis.
Andrew Francis and his Florida secondary do a lot of just that, jarring the ball loose from would-be receivers, trying to bring the ball in before they get a chance to bring it to their body.
Eamon Kopech under center. He's got split backs with him in 2 wideouts. Gonna signal a motion of one of his wide receivers to the other side of the line here. Probably seeing zone or a bit of zone right there. Kopech has time, will throw, throws deep, and that is no good. Incomplete. Tried to look for Doug Spelling over there. Let's introduce you to the rest of the offense of Charleston. They got 5 linemen in their roster. They contracted DeBrickshaw Molyneux, Perrin Ibarra, Leroy James, Finley James, and Jamarcus Lamarcus, the 17th. 3rd and long now for Charleston as they line up in trips formation. It's a swing pass. Will there be a screen? No. Not enough. Not even close for a first down conversion on 3rd and long as Florida make the defensive stop.
Yeah, it looks like Charleston was expecting pressure, and the best way to beat that pressure is to throw a screen pass and get something out to the flat. But Florida backed out of it and is going to force a Charleston punt.
Here's the punt. Charleston only netted 1 yard from that drive. A stark difference. Oh no, we got some broken tackles as the wide receiver Bobby Tarantino shaking some ankles, shaking some bodies, leaving them in the dust, and oh boy, zigging and zagging.
Not too often you see a special teams unit give up that kind of lane up the middle of the field. No, normally it happens to the sidelines, and when errors like that happen, it's because they aren't doing a great job of their zone responsibility. They got to close that gap.
Well, as a result of that, Eddie, Florida find themselves only 1 yard from the midfield here. Very good starting position as they land an ace strips here. 2 tight ends, 2 wideouts on one side. It's going to be a handoff for the first play of this drive. Hit, and before being brought down, Art Vandelay gets his first carry of the ball game for 5 yards.
5 yards out the gate. Charleston seeing a lot of the passing game in that first drive. Now Florida's hitting upside the head with the running game.
Yeah, maybe trying to nurse the 7-point lead. They might be more conservative, but we'll see on this second down. Another handoff. This time it's going to go for maybe only 2 yards, they say. Not much doing before being tackled by Charleston's defense. Let's introduce you to Charleston's defense. Defensive line, they got Dyterian, Darshington, Dan Dash, Anthony Allison, John Nevels, Forrest Dalton. Linebackers are Jack Brown, Ben Bowman, and Khalil Thomas. Cornerbacks are J.W. Hartshorn, Brandon Ewing, Leo Morris, and Ryan Cook. We'll call the rest of the defensive backs after this 3rd and 3 play by Florida here. Will they get the first down? They will. That is by Chris Komisak getting the first down for Florida.
And Florida does a lot of this. They all line up Chris Komisak, the fullback, at the tailback spot and use that bruising body to punish defenders to gain extra 2-3 yards.
He may not have the speed, but he definitely packs a punch. Charleston's defensive backs, the rest are Matt Ryan, Sam Blotner, Jacob Clear, and John Stamango. What will this Charleston defense do this time? 1st and 10 inside the 40-yard line. Cochran will throw. Cochran will find a man. It's a medium throw for 7 yards, but it's complete, and that is to Ron Haynes. He gets his first catch of the game.
Florida does a great job of getting their tight ends involved. Not every team in the SFL is successful at doing that, but Florida gets Ron Haynes to the All-Star game, it seems like, every season.
Ron Haynes and Nate LeMay with receptions this season already. So, yeah, I agree. Their involvement of tight ends have been spectacular. It's what helped them make the championship game last season. Here's a handoff. Oh my God, broken tackles left and right by Komisak. You said he packed a punch, but here he's showing his agility and speed.
Yeah, looking like a true tailback there. Look at him bob and weave and find holes in through the defense to pick up the first down. Those are moves you see from a halfback, not a fullback.
I know, really. The route of running wasn't just a straight line down the middle power run. No, it was a threaded through basically a forest. But here's another carry. This time it's to Bileski, and he's going to show his power running, picking up 9 yards, bringing down a man with him.
The first drive, we've seen a heavy dose of the passing game, and now they're showing that versatility with the running game.
5 run plays to 1 pass play in this drive compared to 8 pass plays in the prior drive and 0 run plays. Here's the Joker set for Florida. Handoff to Komisak. He's going to get the first down, and the edge was sealed there, Eddie, and they couldn't do anything against that outside running Komisak.
They could not, but that was an impressive tackle nonetheless in the open field to get the big man down.
They still have to face 1st and goal. Can this Charleston goal line defense hold strong? Florida, Joker set again. It'll be a short pass, swing to Bileski, but actually tackled for a loss here as Charleston makes the play. Good tackle.
Yeah, they had Ron Haynes open on a hitch route. I thought that's where the ball would go, but he decided to check it down.
That was Leo Morris on the tackle for loss there. They move back a yard. Here's the offset eye for Florida. 2nd and goal. Handoff here. Down the middle. Komisak again. Not going to get anywhere. Maybe half a yard there, but he's going to get tackled by Ben Bowman in that play.
3rd and goal from about the 3.5-yard line. I expect a pass here. Ron Cochran has to be very careful with this football in this crowded space.
It will be a pass, as you call it. Pressure coming out, tipped and almost intercepted in the end zone. But what a defensive stop by Charleston as Jack Brown, the inside linebacker, jumps and deflects that ball away, prevents 6, instead forced 3.
Newly inducted to the Hall of Fame, Jack Brown. He's seen it all before. Had that play dialed up and did everything but catch it.
So the kick for 3 points is up and good, and Florida will extend their lead to 10. What a drive, Eddie. This time, a very different drive than the previous one. This time is more balanced.
Balanced indeed, and before these fans have even had a chance to even sit down and enjoy their popcorn yet, they find the hometown team down 10-0.
Well, they got to answer sooner rather than later, and perhaps this will be the offensive drive where they're going to be able to put points on the board. If you're just joining us, the first drive of Charleston went for 1 total yard in 3 plays before being punted, and now the first quarter is almost all gone, and they have just going to start their second drive of the game, looking to put points on the board, but first looking to put yards on the field as they start with their twins formation at their 28-yard, 26-yard line. And that's a good run on the outside, 9 yards. Good start by the halfback here. That's number 40, Nick Hoagland.
Yeah, that's the most productive play so far on offense. Let's see if they can build off of that momentum.
Probably just need a push here or a quick dive by the fullback. Split backs here. Going to be a handoff. That's a first down right there. Good tackle down the middle, but it's still a conversion for another first down. Ian Francis this time with the carry.
Pulled the left guard on that play. He got his hands on a linebacker, made that play happen.
Nice spread for Charleston. Going to be a handoff though, and first down. Tried to find an opening down the middle, but Florida will only allow 1 yard out of that play. The running defense of Florida only allowing 83 yards a game. Pretty good.
Pretty effective indeed. They did so because they did not allow the tailback to keep his shoulder square with the line of scrimmage.
Another twin set for Charleston. Another handoff for Charleston. This outside running is pretty darn good. They pick up 7 on this one. Ian Francis once again.
Yeah, I had to look to the roster sheet because I wasn't used to seeing him lined up over there. But wow, great nifty move to pick up 3 yards.
Here's another split back. Ian Francis Pryor got the first down here, but no, it'll be a pass. Kopech. I believe that's Kopech. He's going to look downfield, taking his time, and no! Gonna throw into double coverage, and that is a rough decision to make as Florida take advantage of the chance there. Even Carroll with a huge interception.
Evan Carroll with interception number 101 on his career. He's seen it all before. The veteran gets Florida's defense off the field.
Carroll running into the route of the receiver. He wasn't the one-on-one coverage playing zone, but runs right where the ball was going to land and makes the key grab. What a play by Carroll. And now Ron Cochran is back in the field. This offense going to start strong again with a 5-yard carry down the middle to Bilecki.
Florida dominating time of possession right now for this game here in this first quarter.
So 2nd and 5 offset I here. They line up in Joker set. There'll be a handoff again down the middle. Oh my goodness. Someone got sent to the underworld as the stiff arm was nasty.
Florida has more than doubled the total plays ran. That was their 21st play from scrimmage. Charleston has only run 9.
Ooh. Oh yeah. Yeah, that is more than double, as Cochran here will throw to the outside. The swing pass was covered well by Charleston. Bilecki couldn't get any yards. Actually, will lose yards in that play. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is the end of the first quarter. Florida with a commanding 10-0 lead as the road team, and on pace to keep up their streak of wins against the Charleston matchup. But it is a long game to go, Eddie. There is still a chance for Charleston to come back.
A lot of football left, but if Charleston wants to give themselves a chance, they got to find a way to get that defense off the field.
That they do. They are putting all their DBs deep here. 3 linebackers, 4 on the line for the defense. A throw by... Wow, there's a screen. There's the broken tackle, and there's the first down. What a play. And Art Vandelay, the recipient of that pass and the screen, and will deliver Florida another first down and keep the chains moving.
Putting Art Vandelay in the backfield, not so advantageous for him when he's running the ball in between tackles. But when he gets the ball out in space, he can be dangerous. You've seen it right there as he made 2 men miss to pick up that first down.
Taking advantage essentially of his strengths, putting him at the right spot at the right time, and that's why we see Florida here again past the midfield. Ron Cochran, another deep throw, another screen throw. This time Bilecki will get the carry, or will get the reception there. He's going to pick up 4 yards. But a good play by Florida. They I like to say they mix it up, but back-to-back screenplays, kind of back-to-back success as well.
Yes, the versatility of Florida. I caught it a couple games ago. They make you defend every grade of grass, from the deep ball to the intermediate routes to the screens out in the flats.
5 on the line for Charleston here. Trying to play heavy defense against the run. It will be a run to the outside as Komisak will break away for maybe only 2 yards or 3, they say. 3rd and 3 now for Florida.
The nose tackle did a great job of reading the play, but unfortunately he got pancaked and undercut and was unable to make the tackle.
Man here. Well, it looks like man. Or not. It looks
zone.
like it's zone, but the motion here by the tight end will reveal that coverage. 3rd and 3. It'll be a pass by Cochran, a swing pass. Will it be tackled and covered? Yes. Charleston this time will prevent another 3rd down conversion. Will finally take their defense out of the field.
Getting that defense off the field was much needed as they were starting to show signs of wear and tear, but Ben Bowman makes his second most impressive play of this game so far, getting his defense off the field on 3rd down.
Yeah, he sat put in his outside linebacker position, and that meant he was there to cover that flat route and make the key tackle. Here's the punt.
That's a Pro Bowl punt right there.
Wow, it's going to stay in and inside the 5. And I'm telling you, Eddie, I'm petitioning for punters to get incentives if they punt inside the 5. And my goodness, what a beauty of a punt.
Reminds me of the punt he made in a championship game just last season to set Florida's defense up, pinning Canton deep in their own end, not allowing them time to score.
96 yards now for Charleston's offense to get to the end zone. 66 to get in field goal range. They start with a handoff down the middle to Nick Hoagland. He gets 3 yards out of that play. 2nd and 7.
2nd and 7, that's a productive play considering where they started from, trying to get deep up out of their own end. You don't want to punt the ball back to Florida and give them this kind of good starting field position.
Hoagland with 13 total yards and 3 carries so far. Here's Charleston, 2nd and 7 split jokers. It'll be a handoff. This time it's Francis running to the outside. Will pick up another 3 yards, so it's now 3rd and 4. This will be most likely a pass play, at least medium and short routes out of your playbook. What do you think, Eddie?
I agree. I think he'll have to pass the ball to pick up this 1st down. But Florida's playing up tight.
It will be a pass coming, running out of the pocket. He's going to run out of the pocket and into a 1st down. And you're right, had to slide there. John Lakeman gets a 1st down for his team with his legs.
No one was open. I think it was 50 wide seam that Charleston ran right there, and Florida did a great job of covering it. No one was open, so he did the smart thing and took off with it, using his legs to pick up the 1st down.
Which is also a smart move because those seam routes actually took the corners with them, and that was just an open lane for Lakeman. So another 1st down, this time inside the 20-yard line, or just under the 20-yard line. That was a 2-yard carry to, I believe, Ian Francis, and 2nd and 8 now for Charleston.
Why Mississippi with the tackle, the former Denver Nightwing, been making his living in Florida the past few seasons.
Empty set here. The first time we see them roll out with this formation in this play, or in this evening. He's got 4 wideouts and an extra tight end in the line for 2. Gonna throw down the middle, and that one is complete. That is to Doug Britton. He's gonna get his 1st target and reception. And would you know it, that's the 1st completion, or well, not by, I believe that's the 1st completion of Lakeman. Or was that Kopech on the throw? Didn't quite get the number on that one. This one is Lakeman under center. Lakeman with the twin set here. He's going to throw here. Deep step back, will throw to the outside. That is a nice fade route. That's number 88, Xavier Solomon. So multiple wide receivers getting their 1st receptions of the evening.
I mean, when you come to prepare to watch Charleston play and you get the program from the stadium concession crew, I mean, get prepared to flip the pace time and time again to find everyone on this roster.
1st and 10, and they line up with 4 wideouts here, Eddie. Looking
Trips
to pass
formation.
perhaps. It will be a pass here. Lakeman throwing to the outside and overthrown there on that play. Tried to look for Zoro Lunar on that play.
Tried to, but the defense was too tight, and had that ball been thrown on target, could have been picked off.
Zoro Lunar, previously of the Vancouver Legion, finding his home here with Charleston, proving to be an important weapon, but incomplete on that one. Had 2 targets already tonight. They started with a handoff here on 2nd down, and Eddie, it's going to be a 3rd and 10 here for Charleston. And I mean, they were okay in the last 3rd down, but what do you think here?
We're going to have to throw it. You got to be careful because Florida gives you a lot of different looks. I mean, we seen cover 12 early, and it looks like it's going to be that again on this play. We'll see.
They did throw an interception already prior. Lakeman to throw another swing pass.
Screen.
And we saw this in their first drive, Eddie, where they were trying to get away with the swing pass on 3rd and long, and once again, not successful on the 3rd down. They're going to force a punt here.
Well, we've seen Mexico City run that play with some success in week 1 of the season, but so far hasn't worked out here for Charleston.
And perhaps scouted well by Florida. Charleston here unable to replicate that beauty of a punt prior by Florida here. Looked like there was a chance there, but instead Florida is going to start at their 20-yard line.
1st and 10, 20-yard line, 4:13 left in this first half with all 3 timeouts. There's plenty of time for Florida to put a drive together. 3-3 nickel defense by Charleston.
And meanwhile, Florida will line up with split backs spread formation here. They're going to maybe pass here. No, they're going to hand off down the middle. And what a quick burst of speed. I believe that's Bileski. No, that is Art Vandelay. I mean, that makes sense. Burst of speed, Art Vandelay, those are the same things.
It is, and I like the play call. Charleston lined up with a 3-3 nickel, and they had a corner lined up on the outside blitzing, so they just threw it right up the middle. Easy 4 yards.
2nd and 6, another handoff. This time it is to Komisak.
Oh, he's hurt.
And someone's down, and it is Komisak.
Chris Komisak.
No. The Florida fullback, who has been their number 1 carrier, the number 1 yardage gainer, and number 1 in terms of yards per carry, is down on the ground. Not what they want to see.
Everyone in Florida back home watching this game are holding their collective breaths, hoping that he is okay.
Had 2 touchdowns in the first 2 weeks or 2 games. One of their more productive players. We'll see how they handle this. Hopefully he's going to come back soon. But first off, 3rd down, stopped here. That's Bileski who had the carry on the ball, but Charleston very well sent all the personnel they could to make that tackle.
So after giving up points on back-to-back scoring drives to start this game, Charleston's defense on these past couple of series have held their own and forced punts.
They've allowed a grand total of 17 rushing yards in the last 2 offensive drives of Florida, and that's the running defense that we have come to know from Charleston this season. They're number 2 in rushing defense in the first 2 games for them, and coming into this game, that was what they were hoping. If you remember, they yielded 45 rushing yards in that second field goal drive by Florida, but since then only a total of 17. Now they're back here in their offense.
Lit Pro tight end off to his right.
That it is here. It'll be a handoff run to the outside, trying to find some space in the edge there. And it'll be about a 4-yard pickup, a solid pickup there. Number 40, Nick Hoagland.
He's listed at 6 feet, 230 pounds, but he moves. He got some giddy up to him, some shiftiness to be a 230-pound back.
He sure does. The secret speed there. Oh, 1 yard loss there as Ian Francis. Ian Francis is actually finding more success on the outside than on the inside, as you see their tackle for loss.
Well, that's the gamble you take when you pull a guard, because when you pull him, that defensive lineman is just going to follow him, and he led him right to the running back.
So now it's 3rd and long with the trip formation here. Sending 5, Florida on defense. It's going to be a completion down the middle of the field. What a throw and catch to Zoro Lunar, and 3 targets will finally get his first catch of the day. That was John Lakeman with a throw.
And you can see right there why that play was successful, because Florida blocked the blitz, and Charleston did a great job, their offensive line did, of holding up their end of the bargain, giving the quarterback time to find his receiver.
I spread here. They're going to start with a handoff down the middle. More successful this time. Another 4-yard carry by Hoagland. And Hoagland is slowly but surely racking up the yards here. It's a 2-minute warning now. 2 minutes to go in the first half. Charleston trying to chip away at this 10-point lead and yet to put points on the board. But with hopefully keeping on to this ball, having the final possession of the half, they're hoping for points. Starting with split jokers here. Handoff here, Eddie, but he gets caught at his offensive lineman. That's never good.
Never good. Got caught up behind his own teammate. Friendly fire, I like to call it. It's going to force a 3rd down and 5. Charleston wants to put points on the board to close out this first half.
And they're just about, I'd say, 5 yards away from field goal range here. So they're aiming for that. Only 4 sent to the rush here, and another overthrow here. Looked like Zoro Lunar. No, it's a Doug Spelling target, and actually thrown into double coverage there, Eddie.
Yeah, no one was open downfield. Florida's been taking away the deep targets all afternoon, and if Charleston's going to get back in this game, they got to shorten up their passing game.
They sure have to. Unfortunately, it's not going to be happening in this remainder of the first half unless their defense can once again force a quick offensive drive. Oh, this punt is good too. Could have been deeper, but that is as good as they'd liked it to be.
Yeah, great punt, all things considered. Pinning Florida deep in their own end on the 13-yard line. A minute 23 left in this first half. Let's see how aggressive this Florida offense gets.
Meanwhile, the defense here, once again, setting up their DBs all the way back in deep coverage, and that's going to allow some inside running to be successful. Trying to rely on their linebackers and D-line to stop the run, but it's a 5 yards yielded on the run.
Yeah, Charleston's defense at this point, they're just trying to take away the deep ball to prevent this lead from expanding.
So 2nd and 5 now is going to be another handoff. Some good blocking, but, well, I'd say good blocking and the 4-yard gain as the backup fullback, this time Shelton, with a carry to replace Commissar.
That's some big shoes to fill, but he's going to try his best.
3rd and 1 here. 39 seconds to go. Is it a good 3rd down? They'll say it's good. That is by Biletsky. I think it was good. We'll see if it's going to be a challengeable call here.
I think he got it.
And they are going to hang on to that towel. Charleston's not going to challenge. 17 seconds to go. This might just be how we end the half, but Cochran's going to throw and keep the clock pinned at 13 seconds.
That was great defense. I didn't get the number of the defender, but Ron Haynes was trying to run an out route, and the defender literally just stood in front of him and did not allow that to happen.
You might be looking at the final play of the game here. I spread formation. Is Ron going to throw here? With an extra blitzer. He will throw. He's looking deep. It's good. It's complete. Are they going to call it a timeout? Doesn't look like it. I think that's going to be it for this half. We get one.
That was a great throw by Cochran.
It was a great throw, and the catch as well is impressive. One-handed catch, but that nice catch will be the mark of the end of this first half as Florida holding on to their 10-0 lead. What a half, starring mostly the Florida Storm offense. What do you think about that one, Eddie?
Well, Florida came out very pass-heavy in their first drive. Then they came out in their second drive, set up the run game, and they built this 10-0 lead. But since then, Charleston's defense has stood tall and are single-handedly keeping them in this game until their offense kind of finds their stride. Hopefully, they can get in the locker room and come up with some first-half adjustments and come out firing in the second half.
Absolutely, you're right. While the defense of Charleston has hung on in the later portions of the first half, the offense have yet to produce anything. Look at the halftime player. It's Tomango with 9 tackles. Impressive stuff from him. So we'll get into the second half here, but first we'll take a quick halftime break presented by Breaks GPT.
We just pulled a full-size Taylor Swift helmet. Shout out to all our Swifties. Travis Kelce. This is a Giants Lawrence Taylor.
Patrick Mahomes.
Chad Johnson with the Ocho Cinco.
We have a Drew Brees.
Is that an O.J. Simpson jersey?
An Aaron Rodgers.
Oh my goodness.
Tom Brady! Tom Brady!
Break into the world of sports memorabilia, collecting with Breaks GPT, featuring signed football jerseys, helmets, photos, and more. Breaks GPT offers you the shot at winning autographed and authenticated sports memorabilia at a fraction of the price. Join the community of collectors on our Breaks GPT Facebook page and lock in your shot at hitting a humongous headliner on our site, breaksgpt.com. We're starting out here at the third quarter. Florida, the visiting team, defending champions here, and currently the leader as far as the matchup goes against Charleston in 10 games. This is their 11th matchup, looking for the third straight win against Charleston, and they're sporting a 10-0 lead.
7-3, Florida leads this all time, but that last game, just a season ago, they had to come from behind to win that game late in the fourth.
I believe that was only by 3 points as well. Here's the first play of the drive. Was a 1-yard carry by Stoneville, but we have a game update and the other game. What you got for us, Cam?
Thanks, Mark. Watch this. Melodious Manning, who was hurt for a portion of the first half, gets his third interception of the first half. Nashville still leads Indy, though, 3-0 in the third. Back to you.
Wow, third interception. I thought Cam was going to end at third interception that he tacked on of the first half, and that is hard to believe.
Hard to believe and hard to achieve, but he looked up at his agent and said, #game incentives. Pay me my money.
That is true. Easy money. Cash it in. Meanwhile, back in this game, 3rd and 5 for Charleston. Can they convert on third down here? One of their few struggles. Lakeman is going to try to run it. Lakeman is going to get brought down. This time, the defensive line able to hold on and prevent the quarterback scramble.
Yeah, no one was open. They've been running this play a few times today, and every time they've run it, Florida has defended it well, and he's tried to force and run for it twice, and so far, Florida has not given him an answer. They're going to force a punt.
That was Dallas Knowles from the defensive tackle position, able to disengage with his blocker and get to Lakeman for the sack. Here's the punt, caught and called a fair catch at the 20-yard line, and Charleston may have had started the half with the ball, but it felt like a nothing drive.
A nothing drive indeed, and now Florida coming out here. Let's see adjustments they make here in the second half, because their offense has also come to a stalemate.
They start with the I-Twins here. At their 20-yard line, here's a handoff. A little bit of a hung up between Komisak. Sorry, that wasn't Komisak. That's Beletsky and the backup fullback bumping into each other and perhaps slowing down that play just a tad bit.
That sack by Dallas Knowles was only his 3rd and a half sack of his career in his 3rd season in the league. Perhaps he started to progress a bit.
Well, that just means he has increased his total sacks by about 50%. Huge achievement. Here's a throw by no, Cochran throws an interception. Did have a man open, but soaring for the interception right there is number 27 free safety Matt Ryan. What a play.
Matt Ryan coming out with his 4th career interception, and this one is going to put Charleston deep into Florida territory, just outside the SFL red zone. if you're a Charleston fan, you've got to be hoping and praying to take advantage of this opportunity because their offense has not impressed so far.
Not yet, but they have a chance here inside the 26-yard line of Florida. They start with 3 wideouts, single back. Quick short throw here for 4 or 6 yards, they'll say, and nice quick completion by Lakeman there.
That's a play we see the Baltimore Vultures run a lot. I forget the name of the play, but you got 2 receivers running those quick. You got a guy running a slant, which you've seen the S receiver do, and a guy running a fade, and both of them are often looked at in that set.
It'd be a hot or an
Toss.
arrow route, but here's a toss. What a quick and powerful play here. To the outside is Nick Hoagland picking up his biggest yardage gain of the night.
Nick Hoagland has had himself one heck of a game. That's his 12th carry for about 50 yards, and he's about 4 yards a carry. He's been the most productive guy on offense so far today.
Averaging 3.7 yards per carry. He was under 3 yards per carry before that play, pushing himself up to 3.7, improving his productivity there. But they're going to line up for the first time in 1st and goal. Ian Francis will get the carry, but that's going to go basically nowhere as the tackle is made by Florida, number 58, Juan Mississippi.
Juan Mississippi in this defense, they got to find a way to bite down and hopefully for themselves force a field goal attempt, if not a turnover. Look at this defense by Florida.
Ooh. 6 in the line. Might see an extra, but they only rush 5 here. But somehow good enough to not allow any single yardage gain.
Week in and week out, Florida's defense gives you crazy looks, and they're aggressive sometimes, they're passive other times, and it's just hard to get a read on them. Now they're playing man. 4-1 down.
They are playing man here, but they're rushing 6, and that throw is intercepted at the end zone. Charleston had a chance to put points, and instead, Florida say you're getting 0.
And I cannot believe what I just saw, because Charleston also thought it was man, but they brought the blitz and forced him to throw that ball just before he wanted to. And I put that on a receiver, not on a quarterback. You cannot allow the cornerback to get inside. You've got to run a slant and use your body as a shield between you and the ball to not allow that play to happen.
A bit of game planning too. Maybe that's not the kind of route they had in mind, but a little bit of adjustment was not there from the receiver. Here's the first play of this drive. To the outside is Art Vandelay. What a carry. He's still going. He's still upright and finally brought down after what looks like a 25-yard carry.
Art Vandelay as a receiver lined up in the tailback spot. Those linebackers are not accustomed to a guy with his speed getting out there on the edge. So they've got to almost cheat a bit and get over there in their lanes to try to stop him from getting to the edge.
We're going to get our first challenge here of the evening as we get a chance to take a retroactive look at the play. Get your console to play SFL on the go at goretroid.com. We'll see here they're challenging that Art stepped out of bounds.
He did.
Ooh.
It's still going to be a first down, but he's out
True.
after about a 17-yard gain.
You're right. An extra 17, well, it looks like maybe 15 yards. They'll be brought back here. As the ruling is overturned. Good call indeed. And that's going to be several yards saved in that play. So you saw right there in real time, Florida's yardage going down from 103 to 94. Just slightly above Charleston, sitting at 62 total rushing yards in the evening. But Florida has not yet scored since the first quarter where they had that field goal. So another first down here, starting off with a carry. That's only a 3-yard gain by Beletsky.
Beletsky back in the game after being looked at in the medical tent, and I'm sure the Florida hopefuls are happy to see him on the field.
I think it's wasn't it Komisak who went down earlier? Not
You're
Beletsky.
right, it was Komisak. You're right. He's still out.
Well, maybe Beletsky did still got taken a look at. We don't know, but here's the second play. I think that's the backup fullback once again with the carry, only maybe a 1-yard gain. So 3rd and 5 now for Ron Cochran and company.
Look at Ron Haynes lined up at fullback right now.
Taking up Comisac's minutes right there. Good choice. Here's a throw. Down the middle, overthrown, and thankfully not thrown to a black uniform.
And I believe that was also 50 wide seam. You send the Z receiver on a hitch route. He was covered very well. The slot receiver runs like almost like a fade, but toward the inside, and he was covered very well. Nowhere to go, and a force a punt.
Another punt for Florida, Florida has forced 2 interceptions, several punts against Charleston, but they too have started to slow down on offense. We look at the team comparison here, 200 total yards for Florida versus the 117 by Charleston, but more importantly, first downs gained, almost doubling Charleston. I mean, Charleston will now have a chance here, but the fact that Florida has been converting on third down earlier in the game and Charleston hasn't been the result of that stat right there. Here's the first down here. A good, solid carry for 8 yards down the middle by Nick Hoagland.
That's going to bring Charleston's total yardage up to about 125 through the first 2 games of this season. The first 3 weeks of this season through 2 games played. They've been averaging 315 yards a game. Florida's defense has come to play today.
Another carry here, and this time, extra man sent on coverage there by Florida as they send Ryan Tobin on the. Was that a blitz or was just him with a quick reaction?
That was just a quick reaction by Ryan.
Splitbacks Jokers now. 3rd and 1 here. Are they going to go inside or on the edge? It's a pitch to the outside and it's no good. It's 4th and inches, and once again, with a great play, is that linebacker or was it linebacker Ryan Tobin, I think. But what a play by Florida there, Eddie, forcing a punt in what could have been the first down.
That was a mistake by Charleston's the running back there, number 44. I'm sorry, I don't catch his name just yet, but he's got to do a better job. Just lower your shoulder, pick up the first down. Don't try to get cute.
Didn't help that he got caught up behind his fullback. That's what happens when you outspeed your fullback. Bump into him and you slow yourself down.
And he's a fullback himself, Brad Taylor Wright. You got to lower your shoulder, get your pad level low, and pick up that first down. Instead, he tried to spin off the defender and was tackled short of the line of game.
Florida's back out on the field once again here. We're just seeing a ping pong of both teams getting drives back and forth without anything happening on the point total. Cochran is going to start with a throw. He's going to look deep down the middle. That's a good completion to the midfield, that looks like, as he finds Stephen Bush once again.
Ron Cochran said, "The heck with all this running, coach. We're trying to separate ourselves from Charleston and put this game away. Put it on my shoulders. I got 5 championship rings, for Christ's sake. Give me an opportunity."
He's number 1 currently in the league in completion rate at 67%. And tonight, he's at 70%, completing 14 of 20 attempts. He's going to hand it off here, though. It's going to go nowhere. In fact, it's going to go negative yards as Beletsky starting to slow down. It'll look like a good start earlier in the first half is now down to 3 yards a carry.
2nd down and 11, 2nd and long, and Ron Cochran, weak eye spread, and look, they got 2 defenders on the Z receiver.
But it's a handoff, and that edge route there is going to go nowhere. The handoff to, I didn't quite see the number of the recipient, but that's a good tackle nonetheless by Charleston.
3rd down and 10. Got to be careful. Last time in that situation versus this 3-2 defense, Ron threw a pick.
It's a bunch formation. Throw to the corner is good. That looked like Bush was just left alone, and the defender played kind of a soft zone. No, it looks like he just outran his man defender right there.
Nonetheless, it's a 1st down Florida, and 3rd down and long. That's a down you have to have as a defense to get off the field.
Absolutely. Now they're knocking on the door of field goal range here. Maybe about 5 yards away here. chance to extend their lead and maybe put the game away. High spread. Cochran will throw. Here's the pressure. Will throw.
Wow.
It's good. What a catch. We're going to make that their nice hands catch of the game. As that is a nice hands catch brought to you by Retroid. Put a Retroid handle in your hands and play the only video game with your player in it. SFL 4K23 Art Vandelay bringing fruition to Ron Cochran's incredible pass.
When that pass was in the air, I'm sure Max Paul was saying, "What are you doing, young man? Turn off your back foot." But somehow he completed it.
Yeah, he forgot he was no young man. He was a true veteran. And that was actually an incredible play. He breaking the sack and still having enough stamina left to make that throw and completion. And of course, Bileski, credit to him for making that completion on what could have been an errant throw.
Lucky to also be left-handed. Had he been right-handed, there's no way he could have made that throw.
Suddenly, this Florida offense has come alive with incredible play, back-to-back plays here. Line up with single back here. 3 wideouts, extra tight end into the line. It's going to be a handoff.
Face mask. That was a
be
wicked tackle by Jack Brown. He almost took his head off.
It will be a face mask. Florida's going to accept that, and that's going to push them all the way to Charleston's 8-yard line. So first 10 goes to this defense, and what could have been them getting out of the field on 3rd and long, see themselves inside their 8-yard line, Eddie.
Ace trips. You got 2 tight ends on the field. Watch out for Ron Haynes.
Big pass, and that fake handoff just gave the linebacker extra time to get to Ron Cochran.
Yeah, it was a play-action pass there, and normally in that situation, the linebacker is fooled for a bit, and Ron has more time to throw, but he made a beeline to the quarterback and brought him down and set up 2nd down and goal. That's probably going to end his 3rd quarter.
That is absolutely how it's going to end, with a sack and a whimper, as Florida up 10-0 still since the first quarter. Scores remained unchanged, but the tides are now in Florida's favor as they are knocking on the door of putting points. Well, they are already in field goal range, Eddie, but knocking on the door of a touchdown as they're looking at 2nd and long here.
Our spread versus a 3-3 nickel.
Ron will throw. Has pressure coming behind him. That is almost intercepted. Multiple black uniforms, multiple hands on that play. Could have been an interception the other way. Ooh, they're breathing a sigh of relief.
Sam Blotner had that hit him in both hands. You got to come up with that catch, big fella.
Forcing now to throw here with bunch formation. Cochran's going to need a big play here. Cochran's going to need a big play. That throw is not that big, and it's going to be incomplete. In fact, as Vandelay couldn't come away with it, Charleston will force a field goal.
Another play that Baltimore likes to run, it's called 50Z. I forget the exact name of it, but you got 2 receivers running to the outside, another receiver running a post, but Charleston was not fooled.
They weren't fooled. They played their coverage as well, and they're able to force 3 points, still sticking to a 2-score deficit.
Still a 2-score deficit. Still time for Charleston to get back in this game, but they have to start taking advantage of the opportunities they're given to come up with points.
And so far, Charleston has only put up a total of 126 yards in 3 full quarters of play, compared to Florida's 261. So Charleston, something has to change, and something has to change quickly. They're going to start with a decent return here all the way to their 25-yard line. And do you think it's panic time for Charleston, Eddie?
I won't necessarily say it's panic time, but I would like to see them pick up the pace. They don't have to necessarily go with a hurry-up offense, but just get in and out of the huddle with a sense of urgency.
That is probably the key word that coaching staffs would like to see from Charleston tonight is urgency. Can they get downfield quicker and more impactful? But they start with split twins here, moving the fullback to the line and handing it off down the middle. What do you think of when you pull your fullback to the line, but you still run down the middle? sometimes I think that might be a little tough for the play.
Yeah, I agree. You're trying to get Florida to think pass, but they weren't biting. Now they're going to go in shotgun for the first time today.
They do. Shotgun split spread here. It's going to be a throw swing pass. Decent gain there on the play. 5 yards just about. The first time we see that play, but it's 3rd and 5 still. You were talking about sense of urgency, and so far we're seeing short dink and dunk plays. I spread here in 3rd and 5. Lakeman will throw. Lakeman looking deep on this play. Overthrown once again and throwing to his wide receiver who's under double coverage.
Yeah, they've ran that play about 3-4 times now, and every time Florida was not fooled.
That is once again Doug Spelling, who has been thrown to 5 times, but only has received one of those targets. One catch was for 6 yards, and every single time has been a deep throw for nothing.
Punting this ball right back to Florida.
Here's Florida back on the field once again, as they are looking to keep the clock running and potentially start hammering the nails on this game.
8:48 left. Florida and the coaching style that I know from Max Paul, he's going to dunk this ball downfield, try to chew up some clock.
They will start at 1st and 10 here with the pair slot formation. Art Vandelay out of the pair slot will pick up 3 yards running towards the 2 tight ends and will still get tackled. Decent gain nonetheless, as it's a run play, as you mentioned, Eddie, and it's keeping the clock rolling.
It is, and they're doing all of this without their star tailback in the backfield.
Comisac is yet to be seen here, but look at that. The backup fullback will set them up for 3rd and 2.
Just an unfair amount of riches for Florida in their backfield.
Strong-eyed Jokers, 3rd and 2 in their 41-yard line. It's a handoff once again. Charleston trying to make the tackle, and they will. It's once again, you really can feel that they miss Comisac here.
Yes.
If that was Comisac, he could have provided both his speed and power to force that 3rd conversion.
If that's Comisac back there, that's a 1st down, and keep the chains moving.
Keep the chains moving, keep the clock rolling.
Look at that Pro Bowl punt. 4.5 seconds of hang time.
Wow. So
that's unfair.
With that unfair punt returned by, I believe, Doug Britton on the return. Doug Britton getting more production on his punt returns tonight than his receptions. And it's not against him. It's really that the credit goes to Florida's defense covering Doug Britton, which is fair. Doug Britton has been one of the key players, if not the number 1 player for this Charleston offense. He is the lead receiver and yardage gainer for the team. I spread formation here. Going to be a fake handoff play action. Throw down the middle is good. He finally connects with his man Doug Spelling for the 2nd time, and this time in the long throw, he'll pick up a nice 1st down for Charleston.
And it was play action because they've been running that inside fade all game long out of this set, and Florida's had it covered. But this time they run play action, freezes the eyes of the linebacker, does not allow him to get depth to make a play on the ball. Great play call.
They line up in a very similar formation here, Eddie. Might see a similar play. It'll be another pass as Lakeman looking to throw. Looking for Spelling again. It seems like a similar story out of that play and a similar result.
A similar result. Florida's defense. Art Vanderlei, it's time to get this man his flowers. He's been balling out defensively for this squad for 3-4 seasons now, and it's time for him to get his due.
Split twins here for Charleston. It is another pass by Lakeman. Pressure coming behind him. Has to use his legs to run. Will slide. Good play by Lakeman. Couldn't find anything downfield as Florida's incredible coverage once again is showing its strength. So Lakeman had to find something, and he found 7.
Smart decision because no one was open downfield.
Split jokers now. 3rd and 3. Could be anything, but it'll be a throw. That's Kopech on the throw.
Nobody open.
He's going to make it a swing pass. That's a completion, but that was not good enough for a first down.
Nobody was open. Great job by Florida's defense. Art Vanderlei, we talk about him a lot as a receiver, and rightfully so. But he continues to put together game plans defensively to show up and show out for this Florida defense.
Charleston with another punt yet again. Eric Blueberry seeing this field more often than he would have liked to.
Yes.
19-yard line is where Florida is going to start. And now it's Operation Bleed the Clock.
Absolutely. And that's Mighty's game. He loves to do it. I've seen him do it time and time again. Bleed the clock, run the ball, throw the ball out to the flat, pick up 4 or 5 yards at a time, and just frustrate the hell out of you.
All right, so 1st and 10 here. Good chance we're going to see a run play here, Eddie.
I wouldn't doubt it.
It will be a run
Play action.
Oh, play action! Incomplete. That was actually in the hands of the receiver, but jarred loose by the Charleston defense. John Stamango with a nice coverage there, hitting the receiver, making that an incompletion.
I think that was Giffis trying to bring that ball in, but it got popped loose.
Twins here. Cochran might have another play action. Surprise both us and the defense. No, it's a pass.
Screen.
A deep pass, a screen, but had to step out of bounds as maybe a little off on the timing there between him and Beletsky.
Yeah, first of all, Ron Cochran was lined up on the left hash, so he didn't have all the green grass he would have liked. But secondly, he got the pass out late, which did not allow his receiver to bring the ball in and make a move.
So now Ron Cochran with 4 wideouts. And I'm going to have to motion one of the receivers, overloading one side with 3 wide receivers. It's going to be a throw by Cochran. He's going to throw it down the middle, and wow. The completion rate, once again to Giffis. This time he says, I'm hanging on. And that's sure what he did. Hangs onto the catch, keeps the chain rolling, keeps the clock going.
That's his 4th catch of the game, 81 yards receiving. That's by far the league leader in receiving yards today for Florida.
And Cochran is still sitting at a 67% completion rate at 28 attempts. Here's a handoff down the middle. It's a 1-yard carry. How many likes do we have on this video so far? Well,
not enough.
It is not enough, Eddie. If you're watching this on YouTube Live right now, smash that like button and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Make sure you've got notifications on so you won't miss a minute of SFL and SFLM action, and help the channel grow through your support. Hand off
Fumble!
Vandelay.
They got
Fumble.
it back.
Couldn't force a turnover. Vandelay with an uncharacteristic fumble here. Oh, but had fumbled the ball when at that one moment in time where only one arm was grasping onto that football.
Inexperience of being a tailback. Art Vanderlei carrying that ball in his inside hand. Got to move that ball to the outside hand. Keep it away from the defense.
Tuck it in your armpit. Anything to protect the ball here. Cochran with a deep throw, and my goodness, how wide open was that middle of the field.
It was wide open, and I think that's the first time we've even seen him run that play today, if I'm not mistaken.
Bush running what looks like either a slant or a post route, and then a similar route on the other side of the field. Got the defensive backs crossed out, and just enough time for Caleb Giffis to get his 4th reception.
Career high in receptions.
75 yards. 2 players now with over 70 yards as recipients for Ron Cochran. It's Caleb Giffis and Stephen Bush here. So the ace formation becomes an ace trips as the handoff down the middle is good for about 5 yards. That is, I believe that is another backup halfback with a carry.
Yeah, that's Avion Kaysen on the carry. You can get guys that off the street. The guy was a walk-on at the beginning of this week. Walked in and got a job and finds themselves getting significant carries here to close out this game.
They'll be in the roster the entire season, but perhaps something in the practice week saw him and say, "Hey, okay, let's sneak this guy in, replace Komisak and or Bileski." But here's Bileski now. This time,
Great hold.
No, it's not. It's not Bileski. It's the backup fullback showing signs of Komisak. Komisak's in the nursing room right now, Eddie. He's saying, "I'm sending you my power. You be me."
Darian Shelton. I mean, we saw Charleston making some nifty moves in traffic. This time it's Darian Shelton's turn. Another walk-on for this Florida offense out here making dividends.
You're just pushing the knife down the gullet of Charleston.
By the way, Nashville, Indianapolis tied up at 6 with 4.5 minutes left in the game.
Tied up at 6. It's going to be one of those games where it's going to take only one play to break the game down. Here's a
Big
game now
hole.
with Florida. You called it a big hole. I mean, Shelton, as much as he's a backup, that hole is just credit to the line and the coaching of this Florida offense.
Believe it or not, Cam could have ran through that hole and picked up 8 yards.
He
probably would have
athletic
fumbled,
than I
though.
am, too.
He probably would have fumbled getting tackled.
That's why you won't
2
see
minute
a
warning.
player called Cameron Irvine as a generic. But hey, that is the end of, well, not the end, that is the 2-minute warning here. Charleston is in dire straits. They need a miracle here with 2 minutes to go, but Florida just looking to dot their I's and cross their T's in what is potentially their 3rd win in a row this season. Here we go now. Jokers just looking to get a first down here and keep icing the clock. Hand off.
Wow.
Gonna go nowhere. 3rd and 2.
3rd down and 2. Florida line up in the Jokers pair, putting 2 tight ends on the right side of the quarterback. And Charleston counting with a 3-4 defense, and that nose tackle did an outstanding job of manning a point and forcing that ball outside for no gain.
Nate LeMay's on fullback, but you also have to back up fullback Shelton as a tailback. Shelton will get the handoff. Look at Shelton. Shelton's bringing glory to his team as the backup fullback.
You see what I mean? Florida just eats the clock, man. Anytime Florida's holding the lead in the 4th quarter, I don't care if it's 10 minutes left on the clock. They're going to find a way to eat up 6 minutes and just kill you slowly.
And you can't forget the fact that although they have only scored 3 points in the second half, Eddie, they've also allowed 0 points in 4 full quarters to match, hanging on to the lead.
I mean, that's just
Wow.
what they do.
And I don't believe that they signed up for the incentive to have a shutout game, but this would have been incentive for the team, big incentive. It's a shutout against Charleston, who have been incredible offensively in the first 2 games they had this season.
This drive for Florida started with 6 minutes and 20 seconds left in this quarter. And
Wow.
they've eaten up almost 5 minutes.
Well, week 4 continues tomorrow at 6:30 p.m. Eastern in Phoenix, where 2 unbeatens meet Arizona, that's you guys, Eddie, and Mexico City. Plus, Albuquerque versus Baltimore, Carolina versus Los Angeles, and Chicago versus Pittsburgh. It's another doubleheader SFL Sunday right here on SFL YouTube, so stay tuned, folks. It's going to be a pass? No, it's just spread formation, but it's going to be a carry downfield for Art Vandelay, picking up another carry for his team, and he has been effective in the few times he's had the ball in his hands.
Yes, and with no timeouts left, Florida's going to eat up this clock and kick the field goal attempt with about maybe 5 seconds left on the clock and make this a 2-score game.
33-yard attempt. Put insult to injury, extending the lead to 16 here. And gonna milk the clock the play clock all the way down to 0. Snap here with 3 seconds in the play clock. Kick is up and good. Had a little bit of a right swerve, but swerves back in.
Look like a curveball if it's a pitcher throwing it. Look at that.
Wow. A little bit of you're right, a curveball. I was looking for the term they use for the wind effect of aerodynamics that curves the ball, but we'll just call it a curveball. Charleston, you think they're going to be able to put points on the board in the dying seconds here?
Not likely.
They have used their final timeouts in the previous offensive drive of Florida. 18 seconds to go. Charleston, though, I think all things considered, they went up against a strong team, the defending champs. But this is not, this is not yet panic button for them for the rest of the season.
It is not. I mean, Florida's defense, they've only allowed 1 trip to the red zone this season before this game. That's first in the SFL, so nothing to hang your hat on.
They did only allow 1 extra red zone time here. That was when they got the red zone interception. So not only are they allowing a few red zone visits, Eddie, they're also taking those red zone scoring opportunities away.
Yes, they are. And in other SFL action, Indianapolis is at Nashville's 4-yard line with a minute and change left in that game, trying to get the lead. Here comes a Hail Mary attempt.
Hail Mary here by Lakeland is complete. And they make the completion, but that will be the end of the ball game. Charleston unable to put points on the board, and Florida will mean that that's their win. They come away with 16-0 victory over the strong Charleston team. What a game! What a series of defensive drives by both teams, but it was just one team that had the better offense, and Eddie, that was Florida.
Florida came out and set the tone right away, putting up 10 early points before the fans even got a chance to get their popcorn and into their seats. But credit to Charleston, they did not give up. Their defense came to play. They've only surrendered 16 points to this Florida Storm offense, so kudos to them. But they just got to get some things tuned up on offense to take some of that stress off of their defense and allow them to open up the playbook and play the way they would like to, which is aggressive so far this season. They do that, and they got a promising season ahead of them. But don't shy your head and get down and all that, because Florida, the defending champions, they got great coaches over there. They put their players in position to win despite the injuries they suffered.
That is all for us. Thank you, everyone who has joined us tonight. Florida with the win, but both teams will be coming back in weeks to come. Hopefully, keep their playoff stories in line. But thank you for joining me. I was Mark Lopez. That was Eddie Gage. We had on stats Jacob Clear, Ron Haynes, and Corey Manner. And for Cameron Irvine, that is it for us. Have a good night, everyone, and goodbye.
Arizona, I love y'all, man. We got an important ball game tomorrow against the 2-0 Mexico City Aztecs. I'm nervous as all get out. I think our defense is going to show up. I just hope our offense does enough to win the game. But they bring it over there because their defense is pretty damn good too. But we're going to see how it works out tomorrow. Hopefully we get the W.